Behold the model that is my guest for today. When he's not mesmerizing audiences contorting his body in The Beatles' Love by Cirque du Soleil, he indulges in a most peculiar hobby. His passion for the cosmos knows no bounds in the new paranormal. Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins, please welcome Bonebreaker by night and astrophotographer by even later at night, Indrajit Kumavat. Indrajit, let's begin with a lightning round. Favorite movie?
There's a movie called Black in Bollywood.
Favorite Halloween costume?
I've never been introduced to this culture, the American culture, staying in India. But it's fun doing it. It's fun dressing for it. I did dress for it as a Joker last time, the black and white Joker.
What is your go-to snack at home?
A yogurt drink.
One thing you regret spending money on?
I recently bought a Ford F-250 truck, and that was a money sucker. I bought it this year and also sold it.
Your best friend is kidnapped, and the only way to save them is to sing the lyrics to a song perfectly. What song will you sing?
Gone too soon.
What a beautiful voice!
Michael Jackson.
But I'm more interested in your bones. Bone breaking is a style of dancing which involves physical contortions of the body, which look as if they would be physically impossible, or would break the dancer's bones. Now, tell me, how did you get into this?
I was originally a Michael Jackson impersonator. That's how I started dancing. That's how I got into dancing. And one day, me and my crewmates, I had a dance crew in India, and me and my crewmates were practicing at a studio. And one of our friends shows up. He was the Bonebreaker, one of the first Bonebreakers in India. And he started teaching us, and I also learned a couple of moves. And he was like, dude, if anyone in your crew can do it, I think it's you. You're double jointed or whatever. It was just literally a one-day introduction to this style. Being a Jackson impersonator, I didn't have any style that I can command on, like, oh, this is my style. But then bone breaking became my only thing. From Michael Jackson to bone breaking, that was a switch. And then we started battling and putting that into a crew choreography. And that became my sign, like I'm the bone breaker. One of the first bone breakers in India, by the way.
Why did the skeleton want a friend? He was bonely. What's the scariest thing about being a bone breaker?
Not really. It's scary. Nothing really is that scary in bone breaking as long as you are, practicing and doing all the exercises and stretching and all that. But sometimes I do think, like, what if I turn 45-year-old and this will start giving me pains? So psychologically, I have fears about it, but as long as, like, till now, I have never got any. It's such a beautiful style, and I have, it's in my it's in my body right now so well, because I do it so many times and I practice it so many times, and it has become a part of me as a dancer automatically. I cannot move without bone breaking. I mean, if you tell me to do it, I'll do it, but it's so naturally. Like, I used to impersonate Michael Jackson, and that's how I've adapted bone breaking, because it gave me name. The moment I started this style and people started looking at me, it was just a game changer. Because it's new and whoa, everyone, we went, like, people are going crazy. So I realized that I think I should really work on this style and make it my genre.
I could never have the stomach for what you do, mainly because I'm a ghost and I have no internal organs. Indrajit, I'd like to switch gears, or should I say, switch fears, and talk about your fascinating hobby, astrophotography. And for those with selenophobia, don't worry, there will be no Selena Gomez songs edited into this episode. Now, let's take a look at Indrajit's excellent photos of the moon. Ooh! 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 Neat! How did you get into astrophotography?
Astrophotography was introduced to me in the year 2020 when everyone was doing something different in the pandemic. And, just looking around. We never look around because there's so much to do and explore. And one day I just saw this, I think we were at Disney Park, me and my wife, and they have those binoculars near the water. And I just peeped into one and I literally pointed it at the moon and I could see the moon in that. And I was like, whoa. It's such simple. Like we were just walking at night, just for a walk. And I was just blown away because I don't think I've ever seen moon through a telescope. In a random manner, I got this glance of the moon and then I was like, you know what? I want to get a little telescope and look at the moon and craters. And, it was nice to see something really that close. Because you don't realize like moon is a big rock. It's not what we just see. It's there. And then slowly I Googled and I researched and I found out you can do long exposure photography and you can do a 15-hour, 20-hour, 30-hour, 40 hours. You can give as many hours and get some deep space photos and everything about it. And I slowly dived into it and I got so deeper just every day. These days I'm not that, I'll say, passionate about it, like crazy passionate, because I'm doing other things, focusing on dance more these days and training. But there was one time, yes, it was just on my mind all the time. Like, you go crazy about a new toy or a new passion or new hobby.
You, sir, are a lunatic. Get it? Lunar, moon, lunatic. What tools do you need to be successful at this?
The astrophotography scene has gone in last 5 years because the telescopes are so cheap and there's so much market and so much technology for the amateur. Like you can get a telescope tomorrow, literally, and literally point at a random spot in the sky and literally discover something. We can do that. People are doing it.
Somebody whacked my head with a telescope once. I was seeing stars. What makes a good photo of the moon?
Well, if you scroll your Instagram, you're going to see a lot of good photos these days. It's HDR season. Everyone loves to see something like, whoa, I've never seen moon with a mountain or with a foreground with like a temple, with the unique building. People do that kind of stuff. And there's apps where you can actually plan your photos, like where moon's going to be in the sky at this time and where you have to be to get that photo from that angle with that building. So people do a lot of planning, and it's not always going to be like there have been certain nights where I've taken all the instruments in my car all day prepared, and I've gone, camped, set up my telescope, doing everything, just for the photo, all this for photo. And then I've forgotten one wire, a cord. The second you realize that this night is a waste.
Well, Indrajit, that's the interview. How do you feel?
Feels great, man. Thanks. You asked all the good questions.
Oh, stop. You gave really good answers. Why am I still holding this? My friends, I must ghost you for now. Until next time, goodbye.